Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. What's going on, everyone? How's everyone doing? And welcome some more to my live stream. My first of two live streams for the day, I should say. I'm DSP, and I welcome you here to YouTube, DSPGaming, where I am now streaming live every day for the foreseeable future. So far, it's definitely been an interesting experience, to say the least. I would say the visual quality and the, the overall streams themselves have looked better, much better. Especially playing games that are very action intensive, like Near Replicant or Returnal this week. People have told me that overwhelmingly the streams just look so much better in 1080p 60 frames. But of course that comes with a balance of issues. The stream chat itself at some times can be pretty unmanageable when there's a lot of people coming in here trolling. And in addition, as we saw last night, a lot of impersonation and or attempts to, make people look bad if you try to impersonate someone, which can happen here on YouTube. It's very easy to make a crap account that's bullshit, a burner account, and pretend like you're somebody else. So, as I said when I started this journey earlier this week, over the weekend, I said we're going to have a lot of, change. We're going to have a lot of adapting pains and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be some issues here that we need to get through. But we'll get through them. And the good news is that people are adapting. And at this point, a lot of the regulars who used to be regular attendees over on my Twitch channel have come over to YouTube, which is very nice. We're starting to see a lot more people who used to be regulars on the Twitch channel daily come over and hang out. Also, members. A lot of people have become members. In fact, I believe we're only 8 new memberships away from hitting our first 100 members here on the channel. Once we do that, we unlock a new emote. The way that it works on YouTube is the more members you have on your channel, the more emotes you get. They call them emojis here, by the way. They're exactly the same. Emojis, emotes, they're exactly the same thing. Okay? So, yeah, if we get 8 more today, it means I'll be able to add a new emoji. And people have been saying, oh, what'll the new one be? And the answer is, hey, that's up to you. I have all of the old emotes from Twitch, saved up and ready to go. Ouch! Jasper Kitty, how dare you? He bit me. He bit my toe. He wanted he's biting my leg. Oh, he's viciously attacking me. Oh, he's a brute. He's a vile brute. I'm going to get him right now. That's it. That's it. You're going to get it now, buddy. You're going to get it, Buster. Arr. He's such a nut. You are such a nut. How dare you viciously attack me? I might have to get the Twisty because he really wants attention. I don't want to keep biting my foot. What a nut. What a nut, dude. That's hilarious. By the way, shout out to Brandon, who just became a channel supporter by joining the membership. So that means 7 more. 7 more today, and then we will get a new emote unlocked for everyone. So, you guys let me know what emote you'd like to see right away that we don't have here yet, that used to be on the Twitch channel, and I'll make it a priority. The thing is, some people have said they want the dab, but the dab is a 2-parter emote, which means not only would we have to unlock the next emote, but then we'd have to get like another 30 new members to get the next one. You see? So, we'll see. Let me know. What do you guys think? I'm curious. Give me your opinions on what emotes you'd like to see added next, right? Yeah, I know. The Jasper shenanigans are part of the script these days. Jasper's constantly jumping all around here and doing silly stuff. Thank you, Eternal Napalm. Eternal Napalm just became a supporter of the channel, man. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Metal Leaf, I've never heard of this game, Vigor. So I got surprised at what's the member count at now? So with that one, it should be like 94. We're trying to hit 100. When we hit 100, that's when the new emote unlocks. So I think now we're at like 94 or something like that. Sadly, unlike Twitch, there's no running tally for me. Like, there's nowhere for me to go to see how many. What I have to do is go into a menu. And in this menu within a menu on YouTube, it breaks down the amount of members I have by category. So it's like standard, super, and ultra. And then I have to add those together myself to figure it out. It certainly would be nice if they had, an easy way to tally it. They do not. It is what it is. It really is what it is. Yeah, like I said, YouTube has always been trying to play catch up with live streaming. They're always trying to get the same features that other companies like Twitch already have. So, they're playing a slow game of catching up. Okay. Anyway, also, so some interesting tidbits of information this morning. Since I started live streaming on YouTube over the weekend, I now have had 500 people come and subscribe to DSP Gaming on YouTube. I have not had anyone subscribe like that to the channel in years. And what I mean by that is the channel has pretty much been stagnant. As you guys know, I haven't really put any effort into DSP Gaming since I became a full-time streamer in 2017. It's just been stream. So all the effort was always put over into Twitch. And now all that's different, right? So it's funny that I already immediately got some growth on the channel. It also, of course, says that my views are way up because your views on these streams count for the channel. Of course, on Twitch they didn't, duh. But now your views on these streams count, and I'm actually making ad revenue and everything on these streams that I didn't used to. Ow, Jasper Kitty, why'd you bite me so hard? Oh, what? He's all vicious now, man. It's one thing to play, but you bit me too hard. Now you Hey, stop that right now. Stop that right now. You're gonna hurt me. I know you're just excited, but still. Bit my arm. God damn it. Why you gotta do that? Huh? Oh my goodness. He's so playful this morning. So he doesn't mean it. He's trying to do play nips, but then he gets so excited. Because now he's play nipping me and he's not hurting me. He's just being silly, but he bites sometimes too hard that he gets too overexcited. Alright, hold on. I'll get the twisty and we can play with the twisty. That way you'll stop biting me. Hold on. A silly cat. Oh my goodness. The kitty who demands the attention. He demands all my attention. He says, how dare you talk to your audience? How dare you talk to your hundreds of viewers on YouTube? How dare you do that? Look at Oh my god, he's such a funny cat. I love him. Oh my god. Anyway. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so getting back to what I was saying. Yeah, now because everything here is on DSP Gaming on YouTube together, everything counts. My views count, subs are helping the channel. I'm getting ad revenue on the streams that actually is adding up. From what I understand, the ad revenue is actually pretty significant on a stream. Because let's say, for example, right now, there's, 300 people on the stream and growing. And I run an ad, or you watch the stream, there's an ad as soon as you boot the stream, and then I take a break later, and so everyone sees an ad. So essentially, it counts for many ad views that normally it wouldn't have counted for when I was over on Twitch. On Twitch, ads are like nothing. Seriously, like on Twitch, you might as well not even run them. It's a joke. The ads over there are so ridiculously non-existent. When you run them, it's like, what did I even do this for? That's how I felt over there. But at least here, there's some ads, So it's cool. It's like, having everything in one place is neat. I take a look at my performance now on the channel. It's all there laid out for me. I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's all right there in front of me. So I definitely like that. And it'll be very interesting over the course of, over the course of this month, to the end of this month. And of course, next month will be the real test because it'll be the whole month to see how DSP Gaming does as a channel in general. Will I actually see growth on DSP Gaming for the first time in like 5 years? Will the actual subs consistently go up? Will everything go up? I don't know. I guess we'll find out, right? Someone had just said I found out that there's a sub-only mode. There is. The way that it works is when I start up a live stream on YouTube, there's a whole bunch of settings. And these settings basically save for the entirety of the stream. Slow mode, which means that you can only talk every certain amount of time. And usually it's a set amount of seconds. You ready, buddy? There it goes. There he goes. Usually it's a set amount of seconds. At first I had it on 30, and people were like, no, 30 seconds is way too long to talk. So now I've set it to about 10. And you may say, well, why does Phil have it on 10-second slow mode? Because if I didn't, you would have trolls coming in here spamming every second. Spam nonsense. That's why I have to do it that way. But there is also a way to do it members-only mode. So only people who are members of the channel can talk, but unlike Twitch, you can't turn these things on and off on the fly. Once you've started a stream, these settings are saved, and in order to change them, you have to completely stop that stream and start an entirely new stream. So that's definitely a difference from Twitch, and I mean, admittedly, that's a shortcoming. You should be able to change things on the fly. On YouTube right now, you cannot. It's all just, it's like that for the entirety of the stream unless you want to completely start over. So, pretty annoying. Now the good thing is, I don't see any reason right now to have to do those kind of streams anyway. Why do I have to do a members only stream? But some people have said, hey, would you ever consider for late night chill streams? Like, for example, if I'm going to play new Pokemon Snap, or if I'm going to play MLB, you know, those are streams that primarily I'm doing those for the members anyway. I'm doing those for the regulars, those who are here to chill and want to have meaningful conversation. And really, conversation is a major integral part of those. If I can't talk with you guys, then those streams aren't very good, right? So maybe, eventually, I would consider doing members-only streams only every once in a while for like a chill stream like that. I would never make it members-only for a main gameplay stream of something that's ongoing. Like a new release, I would never do members-only. Stuff like that, you know, never. It would only be for like ongoing chill streams and things like that that I would consider it. Okay? So just understand that. This is not going to become, oh, Phil streams only for people who pay him for paid memberships. I'm not going to do that. The whole point of me ever being popular on the internet was that my content was free and my content was readily available for everyone. I always wanted to make my content accessible to everyone, and that's what I want. Speaking of accessibility, before we even get to like the schedule or whatever, I should point out today's Global Accessibility Awareness Day. And as you guys know, over the last many years, I have become more and more of an advocate for accessibility in video games. I firmly believe that absolutely everyone out there, regardless of any kind of handicap, should be able to enjoy video games. There shouldn't be some kind of a limitation that they can only enjoy 10% of games. People, everyone of all kinds should be able to enjoy video games. Okay? I've always said I love it when games have accessibility features. I always turn on subtitles on my playthrough so people can, you know, read the dialogue if maybe they're hard of hearing. You know, so I just want to call this out. There's a lot of events going on the internet today for accessibility awareness, and in particular in video games. I know for a fact there's many themed streams and things that are going on. I believe Super Blind Man is actually doing a run in The Last of Us 2 with the accessibility features turned on to show everyone how crazy accessible that game is. And as much as a critic of The Last of Us 2 that I was, one of the major things that I always gave it credit for was the insane amount of accessibility that it has. It's probably the most accessible AAA video game ever created in history. Okay? By the way, shout out to Oct, who just became a supporter of the channel, a super supporter, by the way, which is the mid-level. So thank you for the support, Oct. I appreciate that. Oh my goodness, excuse me. So, and by the way, I also am someone who believes that whole get good mentality is kind of stupid. There's a group of people out there who are like, oh, games should not be accessible because some games, for example, the From Software series, right? Oh, Dark Souls and Demon Souls and Bloodborne and Sekiro. Oh, those games should be insanely difficult. There should be no accessibility for those games because they're supposed to be tough, right? I completely disagree. My mentality has always been that video games, unless they are competitive, meaning a competitive situation where there's going to be actual competitions, tournaments held for skill levels. And if that's the case, dumbing down the controls or dumbing down the way you play a game doesn't seem to make sense because it's supposed to be at a competitive level. But as long as a game is a single-player experience, I have never seen an issue with adding accessibility features to a game at all. Some people will agree with me. Some people will completely disagree. All right? But that's my take on it. And I hope that more and more games become more accessible in the future. The Last of Us 2, in my opinion, was the shining example of how it can be done. If a studio actually cares. And that's really the difference here. Because when you add accessibility features to a game, let's face it, are you going to make your game sell way more? No. Probably not. You're probably not going to sell millions upon millions of extra copies because your game has accessibility features. But are you doing the right thing? Are you making your game more accessible to people? Yes. So here's an example, because someone just tried to call me out in the stream chat because, you know, stupid. Oh, but in Street Fighter 4, didn't you complain about dumbed down inputs? I did, because Street Fighter 4 is a competitive game. What I said was, if you have ever followed along my methodology for Street Fighter 4, here's what I said. There should be 2 modes. There should be a mode where you're playing it non-competitive, maybe offline with friends, and you're allowed to have all these crazy input shortcuts to make the game easier and more accessible. If you're playing it single player, or if you're playing it casually, you know, player matches, not ranked matches, then you should have that ability. But as soon as you go to a competitive mode, you go to a tournament, or you're going to play it online in ranked modes, then that ability should be disabled, because that's an unfair advantage, you see? Or, another thing you could actually do, you could have tournaments that specifically call out you can use those kind of easy mode shortcuts, you see? So then people getting into that tournament would understand that and know, okay, I know what I'm getting into now. Rather than, oh, I'm getting into it and now my opponent double taps a direction and gets an elaborate move that normally should be like a double circle motion. What is that, right? But that's what I've always said. As long as it's, you know, it doesn't unfairly unbalance a competitive atmosphere, I have no problems with accessibility features at all in any game at all. And that whole get good mentality is pretty stupid in my opinion. I just don't think that the get good mentality holds any weight in the modern era. So, happy Global Accessibility Awareness Day. Hopefully a lot of awareness goes out there, you know, for accessibility. I wanted to say my piece. And by the way, like I said, Super Blind Man, who's always been a longtime supporter of my content and my streams, is going to be featured over on Twitch. He's going to have a special stream of The Last of Us. So, pretty good stuff. Alrighty. See, now Emperor 5000 says, well, what if making a game accessible compromises the experience for everyone? It wouldn't. Because that's the thing. Accessibility features should always be optional. It should be, oh, you could turn it on or turn it off. If you want the game to be easier to play because you need extra accessibility, turn it on. But maybe you want it to be more challenging, turn it off. It's that simple. It's not a big deal at all. It's just that a lot of these companies don't want to deal with it, and they make excuses, or they just completely ignore it entirely, which I feel is awful. You know, everyone should be able to enjoy all video games, and you shouldn't have people who are left out. And I feel bad that people are left out, you know, and I've always been an advocate for that. So, okay. Anyway, very nice. Let's now continue, guys. So let's talk. Let's talk about what we're doing. Today is the continuation of Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I'm very excited for this. I love the game. As you know, it's one of my favorite games of all time, quite frankly. I've, you know, played it multiple times over the years, both online and offline, and this is the first time I'm playing it in the modern era, essentially, on a new console, you know, PlayStation 5, and I've had a lot of fun with it so far, even though, admittedly, I've only played about 10 hours. I'm having a good time. So thanks to everyone who's been along for the ride so far. I think today we're going to try to get into a major storyline, since I feel like I want to make some good plot advancement today, rather than just do side stuff. I did so much side stuff at the Citadel, I just totally want to do plot stuff right now. So that's what we're going to focus on today. You know, chill gaming, right? Of course, there'll be combat and everything in plot development, but also chill gaming, us just kind of hanging out and having a good time together. That's the first stream. Likely we'll get around 3 hours of gameplay in, if not a little longer. All right. Later tonight, the late night stream is Divinity Original Sin 2. Said it the wrong order. Hopefully we get some good advancement tonight. We're inside of a dungeon full of monsters, and last time around, we had nothing but good plot advancement, which was great. So I hope we can make more advancement tonight. I haven't played the game in a couple weeks now, so now I definitely have to focus on trying to survive this dungeon and get all. I know there's items and stuff in it. So yeah, this should be fun tonight. I hope you guys will join me for that. 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, and then tomorrow we will return to Nier Replicant, which will be the continuation and conclusion of my B-side run. We're almost done with it. I think there's only like 1 or 2 side missions left to trade in, and then we finish it. And then we move on to the C and D runs, which is basically get every weapon in the game. And once you do, then you can unlock new alternate endings, and then after that you get an all-new E ending. So we're very much approaching the end of the game when it comes to seeing all the endings. And I've had fun with it. I hope you guys have been liking the alternate runs too. That'll continue tomorrow. tomorrow night, it's going to be my weekly throwback Street Fighter session. It's usually always on Friday nights. Last week was an exception. But tonight, or tomorrow night, Street Fighter goes down. I'm happy to play it more. And I hope you will join me for the late night stream tomorrow. And then on Saturday, we will swing back to Returnal. And ladies and gentlemen, Saturday is the make or break stream for Returnal. The reason I say that is very simple. I am not going to be dealing with this game wasting so much of my time. And I'm sorry to say that, it just does. The formula does not work for someone like me, who is a content creator, who is juggling multiple games, who doesn't have time to only focus on playing one game at a time. It's just a game that, because of its roguelike formula, and the fact that the game does not allow you to have any saved progress, nor any saved stuff to you. Like, my weapons aren't upgrading, I get no new abilities. I've now played this third biome, probably arguably about 10 times. I've gotten to the boss about 4 times, and I still haven't beaten it, but it's 7 hours of gameplay, 0 progress. Alright? It's even gotten to the point where people watching are bored. They're telling me, man, this fucking sucks. This game is stupid. It's boring. I have to agree. And the thing is, I liked the game when I was making progress. But the fact that every time I play this game, which is like every 4th, 5th streaming day, I now have to try to relearn the game on the fly, get through the entire first world, go through the third world, get all the upgrades, try to get to the boss. Oh, look, I got to the last phase of the boss and it hit me with something I never saw before I died. Oh, got to replay another 2 hours. No, it's fucking dumb. I don't care. I know there's people who like this. Good for you. You're allowed to like whatever you like. I'm not going to sit here and tell you you have no right to like it. I don't. I think it's shit. I seriously think that this game, the way they designed it, is designed to waste your time. And like I said when I was playing the game, if this game was a 3-hour-long, $20 indie game, then maybe you could justify that, because you could say, oh, well, the game's short, but because it was on a low budget from an indie studio, and therefore they had to do that to extend the length of the game and make it feel like there's value, right? But this is not. It's a AAA game. It's big production values. There's no excuse. I don't care that, oh, it's the plot, it's a roguelike. No, it could have been a better game, in my opinion. That's my opinion. You can completely disagree with me, but that's my opinion. This game would have been a better game if it was a modernized game with checkpoints and challenges that were fair, rather than waste my time replaying the same 2 hours of gameplay 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. I'm tired of it. So, if we play Returnal together on Saturday and I beat the third biome, good. We'll move on. From what I'm to understand, you don't have to replay that stuff again once you get to basically the 4th world or biome, or whatever you want to call it. Apparently, then you're good. You could basically, you're starting from scratch again. It's not like you're redoing the same shit. But if I don't beat it on Saturday, I am done with that fucking game. I'm deleting it from my goddamn PS5 and I'm moving on. The game is not a game for modernized gamers who have time constraints. It's just not. It's a game for people who have so much fucking time that they don't have to worry about time. I'm not like that. Sorry, my stream time is very valuable to me. To be able to hang out with you guys and experience different kinds of games. I want progress, and I want to have fun. I don't want to sit here and do the same 2 hours of grinding shit over and over just to get a chance at a boss that kills me with something I've never seen before. Now redo the same 2 hours again? Fuck off. And I mean that, like, fuck off. That is disrespectful to me as a gamer to tell me that my time is not valuable. Seriously. I hate that shit. So, we'll see what happens on Saturday. I'm going to give it one more shot. And if I don't beat it, fuck it. It's that simple. Saturday night, surprisingly enough, I'm returning to Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War because they just released a new map, which I'd like to check out, and they released a Rambo skin. The character Rambo. Yes, Sylvester Stallone's Rambo is actually in the game now, which is ridiculous, but he is. So I'm going to play that Saturday night. Not only will it be fun to do this for variety, but also it'll be a cool test of this new streaming setup for YouTube. How will that stream look? 1080p 60 frames at a higher bitrate. Will it look absolutely amazing because I'm streaming on YouTube? It very well might. So we'll see what happens on Saturday night. Okay? And then on Sunday, it'll be the continuation of Mass Effect again. And then Sunday night, it will be Danganronpa V3, which I'm excited for because we're in the midst of the third class trial, and I get the feeling we're getting to the end of it. We're starting to figure out everything. And we almost have figured out one of the murderers, because there was a double murder. So we already figured out almost the entire one scenario of what happened, okay? But we're getting close to figuring this out, so I'm excited for that Sunday night. Monday will be my day off for the week. And then next week, I've been thinking about this, and the more I think about it, I think I do want to play Biomutant. I'm strongly leaning towards playing Biomutant next week. It seems to be like a game that's going to be pretty unique, and something that's not like anything that I've played at all recently, and something that would be pretty wild for streams, although I don't know if it'll have longevity, and that's kind of what I'm worried about. Dropping, you know, $60 on a game. I play it once or twice. It's like, okay, but now we've seen it. You know, the gimmick's over. Versus a game that has longevity. I don't know if it's going to have longevity or not. But I'm considering, strongly considering playing Biomutant. Okay, give me your opinion on that. Right? Give me your opinion on if you think that I should be playing Biomutant or not this coming week. Okay. A few other things. The end of this month is upcoming episode of Ask the King. This is an episode where I'm going to answer your questions, and I need you guys to post up more questions. First of all, thank you if you've become a patron of mine. Oh, really? Dovik just tipped me and gave me some information. Dovik, I will read that out in a bit. Thank you. That's actually pretty useful info. All right, I'll read that out once I get to shout-outs. Anyway, yes, last week of this month, Ask the King returns. It's my bi-monthly Q&A show. It's actually in 1 week from... Oh, it's next week from today. Okay. It's 1 week from today, guys. Ask the King. And I need you guys to post up your questions by typing ! Ask the King in the stream chat. She'll bring up the link. And then you can go post up your questions on my forums. And the more questions I get, the better the show is. So please post up your questions for Ask the King. And thank you to those who pledged to my Patreon this month to help me out. Because I really didn't need the help. So thanks to those who did. And you should all have your forum access upgraded at this point. So that you can post up your questions guaranteed. All right? All right. Now also, upcoming Retro Replay event. This is the event where you guys nominated old playthroughs of mine that I've done. And nominated them for a modernized take. Live streaming, direct capture, interaction on the streams. The whole shebang. The games that you nominated are very, very interesting. Like Witcher 3... Uncharted 2, God of War 3, Fallout New Vegas, Ninja Gaiden on the NES, Alan Wake, and, man, there's one more, and it slipped my mind. But basically, these are all playthroughs that I did back in the day that now doing a more modernized take would be very interesting to see. I guess the one exception there would kind of be Witcher 3, because Witcher 3 I played in 2015, so not too long ago, but still, you know, 6 years is a long time. So... yeah, any of those games, I'd be excited to do a second run. And the way it's going to be is there's going to be a marathon event to celebrate the launch of that playthrough, where I'll play it for like 7+ hours on a stream. And then it'll become a regular playthrough to join to my normal schedule. All right? So please continue to vote on what games you would like to see for the Retro Replay event. All right? Type ! Retro Replay into the stream chat. Okay? Very nice. Local Nomad says that Witcher 3 is scheduled to get a PS5 release this year. Oh, really? That's interesting. Probably modernized graphics, 60 frames. That'd be cool. I mean, it already looked amazing on PlayStation 4. So you can just imagine what it would look like on PlayStation 5, right? Okay. Yeah, Swaggins, I know. He says, you already played New Vegas on hardcore. It'll be hard to top that when you replay it. No, I know. You remember when I played it on hardcore, it wasn't even really hardcore. Because people were like, oh, on hardcore, you constantly have to eat and drink. I was like, actually, you don't. I played it on that, and I didn't have to at all. It just wasn't really a big concern at all. It was actually quite easy to play it on hardcore. There wasn't really any added challenge to doing that. It was kind of silly that they even had that mode, because it kind of was, I felt it was like false advertising. Okay. Can I actually see how many members I have? No. Oh, the only way I could do that is to go into... Here, I'll tell you exactly how I do it. I have to go to my tab, which is my channel content tab. Excuse me. My YouTube studio tab in YouTube. Okay? Then I have to click on the monetization tab. All right? It loads. Then I have to click on the memberships tab. And then in the memberships tab, there's a list of people who have become members. And it says currently we have 79 standard members, 8 super members, and 9 ultra members. Okay? So if you do the math, that would mean that we need 4 more. It means that we need, 4 more members to join today, and then we will unlock an emote because we'll hit 100 total members. That's the only way to do it. There's no actual running tally anywhere of how many members you have on your channel. I know that's stupid, but that's just how it works here on YouTube. Maybe eventually they'll fix it and change it and improve it. And I mean, that's one of the major things here is by using YouTube streaming daily, we can kind of compare this to what we were doing on Twitch, and we can even make suggestions. In fact, Team YouTube on Twitter reached out to me the other day and said, please actively submit feedback for us for streaming purposes because we really want to improve. That's nice. They've actually helped me too. They've been following me on Twitter, and the other day there was some issues on YouTube, and they were talking with me about them, and then figured out that they were internal issues. And it's actually nice that YouTube is actually doing that. I don't know how much longevity they'll have with that, but it's very nice that they're having a personal touch and actually trying to help with issues and improve for the better. Okay. So anyway, guys, all of these things coming up. I hope you guys are excited for all of the new stuff coming up. Should be a good time. Outside of all that, let's very briefly talk about supporting the channel. So there's 3 primary ways you can support the channel. You can tip me, you can become a member, or you can do a super chat or a super sticker. All right? Tipping me is the best way to support the channel. I need help with tips right now in the short term. Basically, the way it goes is thus. Tips give me immediate help so I can pay bills. And really, this is my only major income that I'm getting now is tips. Okay? When you do other things such as join this channel as a member, you'll get cool perks. For example, you get a chat crown badge to show how long you've been a supporter. You'll get your name colored differently in chat. I believe right now the name color is green. Okay? You also get access to emotes. Okay, which is really cool that you get access to emotes, just like we used to do over on Twitch, right? So you get all that if you become a member. You also have the ability to do what's called super chats or super stickers. This is basically you do a contribution to the stream, and your message then will get like a highlight, and I'll give a shout out for those when they come in, as long as they're not insulting or anything like that, okay? But the memberships and the super chats and the super stickers, I will not see any benefit from those until I get paid by YouTube next month. YouTube typically pays me between the 20th and the 25th. And it's usually a different day every month, but it's sometime in there. All right? So I'm not going to get paid for any of this stuff until next month, which means I need your help with tips between now and the end of next month to make ends meet. Without tips, I can't pay any of my bills. All right? So right now, if you can tip me, please do. That's the way to go. That's the way to support the stream. How do you tip? There's 3 different ways. You could check the pinned message on the chat, which has a link. You could type !tip into the stream chat. That will give you the link. Or you could check the description of the video. That has the link, okay? Any of those ways, you could go to my tips page, send a tip, and I will give you a shout out. You'll actually get a pop-up message here on the stream if you tip me $4.20 or higher. And I appreciate that very much, guys. Thank you so much. That's why we have tips goals in effect, because it's so important. If we raise $50 in tips, I'll put on my gunner glasses. For $100, I'll put on a vest. And today, it will definitely be the platinum vest to celebrate space exploration in Mass Effect, okay? The goal is 200. Please, if you support the streams, please help me with tips. Yesterday, we did not hit the tips goal at all. We didn't even get close when I was playing Returnal. Like, not even close. So please, today, I'd like to make up for that if possible. Support if you can. All right? All right, so, a couple things news-wise when it comes to games that I'd like to shout out. First of all, The Last of Us 2 got a 60 frames per second patch for PlayStation 5. So, if you own The Last of Us 2 on PS4, but you happen to have a PS5, alright, you can now play the game in 60 frames if you wish. And it's free. And, personally, I'm not in love with The Last of Us 2, as you know. I think the gameplay is good, but the freaking plot's terrible. But hey, if you liked the game and you want to replay it in better performance, Go for it, right? Pretty cool. Outside of that, let's see. I'm trying to find... There was another thing I wanted to talk about. Where is it? I'm trying to find it. There was another story that I had to talk about with gaming, and I can't remember what the... Oh! Ubisoft, man. I mean, as much as we criticize Ubisoft for the games they put out, that company at this point is imploding, man. So, basically now, today, it's not that it's just come to light today, because we already knew about this, but basically it's getting highlighted now that Ubisoft has had so many problems internally. Just its culture, not even just as a game developer, but its culture was a toxic male culture where people were constantly insulted and or bullied. Some people were sexually harassed internally, and basically they knew about this for years and years and didn't give a shit and kept sweeping this shit under the rug and hiding the fact that this was happening at the company. The higher-ups were getting away with all this bad behavior. And recently, there's been a shakeup at Ubisoft where some of the management have left. But I guess what's happening now is it's coming to light that, it didn't really help because they knew about this going on for so effing long, and they just didn't care. They just didn't care. They were like, no, this is this mentality that we can do whatever we want. We run our company however we want. We don't care if people are abused or anything like that. And it's crazy because I think someone made a video today that's going viral about it. That's basically just like a laundry list of grievances against the company. Employees that are coming out and saying, this is ridiculous how bad this company was run. I can't believe these people in power were able to do this kind of stuff. It is what it is. The thing is, in the gaming industry, sadly, I hate to say it, because the gaming industry is still considered an emerging industry. All right? Unlike television, movies, the music, these are all entertainment avenues and venues that have been around for quite some time. Video games in the last 20 years have exploded in popularity to the point where now they are bigger than anything else, entertainment-wise. They make more money and have more popularity than anything else. But they're not treated like that. A lot of people still think video games are just for kids. They act like it's some silly thing. They don't understand what big business video games are. And so, it's acceptable for game companies to abuse their employees and do all these kind of things. And no, it's not. It's definitely not. And in other industries, that kind of shit doesn't fly. But for some odd reason, some really odd reason, it's all accepted in the game industry as this is just a commonplace thing. You're going to be overworked. You're going to have crunch, unpaid overtime. You're going to be used and abused by the management. People are going to fuck with you constantly. Oh, but that's just games development. Like, no, it's not just games development. It shouldn't happen at all. Why are we accepting of this? It's kind of like, back in the day, this whole locker room mentality of, it's acceptable. It's an all boys inclusive club and everyone has to act like some tough guy and act all macho and shit. And if you don't do that, man, you're not, it's so dumb. That's how it used to be in the Street Fighter community. No lie, back in the day, in the 90s and early 2000s, that's how it was in the Street Fighter community. It was like a locker room deal where everyone's just acting like an asshole and a macho idiot, a fucking, bigoted, racist, everything. Like all those things were widely accepted in the Street Fighter community for a long time. I don't know about today. You would think today things have changed. But back then it was ridiculous. The shit that he had to put up with just to fucking play Street Fighter at a competitive level. And now it's like, well, it's always been like that in game development. No, it shouldn't. Enough of this. That's like the biggest cop-out. No, it should be called out when people are finding out the shit is happening. It should be made public and it has to end. Enough with the, because you're in games development, you just have to be a punching bag. You just have to be underpaid, overworked, treated like shit, mistreated, insulted, sexually harassed. It's all acceptable. It's games development. No, fuck off. Time to fix stuff, okay? Seriously, time to improve things for the better and stop just accepting that bad behaviors are good. I mean, they're not. This is ridiculous, man. Omar Nunez says, where's this rant going? I'll tell you where it's going. I'll tell you where it's going. Straight to fucking hell. All right, anyway. Anyway, this was a news story today I wanted to talk about. All right. Anyway. Let's now continue. Let's let's do some shout outs, shall we? All right. So, we start off the day with Dovik, who tipped me $10. It's the first tip of the day. And he says, heads up, I have fact checked. YouTube did recently add a new subscribers only mode. It's now in beta access, not members only mode for streaming. You can set it to 1-day subscriber mode to prevent fake accounts. It's not fully released yet, but soon will be. So, okay. So, just so you guys know, because this is confusing, because subscribers on YouTube is different than what subscribers were on Twitch. So, allow me to explain the difference. Over on Twitch, when you follow a channel, essentially what it means is you want to be notified when that channel goes live, and you want to be in the know about happenings on that channel. You're not doing a paid subscription. You just want to follow that channel and find out what's going on it. Okay? Here on YouTube, that's actually called subscribing. All right? That's not the paid membership. That's subscribing is essentially the same as following over on Twitch. And then a membership would be the equivalent of a paid subscription over on Twitch. So when Dovik says, oh, it's a sub-only mode, what he's saying is it's the equivalent of followers-only mode over on Twitch, which we used to use all the time. Okay? What followers-only mode would do is you would have to follow the channel for a certain amount of time in order to talk in the stream chat. And the reason we did that is because people would go in there with bot accounts all the time. Oh, a fresh bot account. Time to troll. And they would try to troll the chat. But oops, I haven't been following the channel for a day. I can't talk. You see? It would prevent trolling. And they don't have anything over here like that. But what Dovik is saying is they are going to add that. That's good. I would love to test that and see how that works. That way we could maybe prevent the trolls from coming in here. Okay? So essentially all you would need to do is sub to the YouTube channel, which is free. That's not the paid membership. And by the way, I mean, I hate to say it, that would actually buff my sub numbers if you think about it. That would get more people to sub to the channel so that they know that they could chat when the streams are live. So we'll see what happens. If that does get implemented, I likely will test it and use it. It was always effective over on Twitch, so. Okay. Snow Curl tipped me $1.30, says, in light of yesterday's trolling, I think people who spread slanderous and harmful information about people using real name and identity online should face criminal consequences. Do you agree it needs to stop? I mean, here's the thing. There's always a slippery slope when it comes to this kind of thing. Because I am a believer in freedom of speech, okay? And I think that people should be able to voice criticism. But there's a difference between criticism and defamation or slander. And really, that's legally where we get into the gray area of what's allowed, what's not allowed. Did you know that in some countries, namely, I know for a fact in India, you are not even allowed to publicly criticize someone if it means that you could defame their public image, even if it's true. If you were to go to like a newspaper or something and you were to say, oh, this politician is a jerk because of this, like you could get sued for it over there. That's crazy to me. That basically is like stifling of freedom of speech. But that's how it is over there. This is the whole defamation lawsuits and everything are very different over there than they are here in the United States. Here, essentially, you can say and do whatever you want, but then someone has the ability to sue you if they feel that you went too far and you can't prove what you're saying, and you did it for sensationalist reasons or whatever, and it hurts their reputation, then you can sue for defamation or libel or whatever it would be called. So, I don't know. Here's the thing. I firmly believe that if people are gonna be impersonating other people to try to do nasty stuff, and if people are going to be saying really nasty, hurtful things, you know, I would say, yeah, you should be able to stop that and prevent it and or go after people and hold them accountable. At the same time, I wouldn't want that to stifle legit criticism. I wouldn't want it to be now no one can say anything about anyone because everyone's afraid of litigation, you know? And that's kind of the problem, is that you always go too far. It's always about moderation. You got to find that happy medium. Yes, you should be able to defend yourself from slander and or things that are untrue. At the same time, when people are legitimately criticizing bad things you've done, you shouldn't be able to shut them down. So, It's tough. It's tough to figure out. For me, everyone just says whatever they want about me, and I have no defense at all. Everyone just makes shit up constantly. So I'm so used to being the pincushion and the punching bag of the internet that, you know, I've seen the worst of it. And at least I'm still here, thank God. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know how would we do this in a way that doesn't go too far. I don't know. Snowcrawl tipped another $1.30. He says, you think it's worth keeping likes and dislikes on, even if the ratio is bad? Without comments and likes, dislikes, you'll never get bumped by the algorithm and always end up below other channels. At least on your streams, maybe keep them on. No, it doesn't matter. At this point, on YouTube, I don't care about the algorithm. The algorithm has screwed over DSPGaming so many times over the years for various reasons. I don't give two shits about the algorithm. Well, you know what I care about? My core fan base and my core viewership. That's all I care about. If this channel ever grows on YouTube, great. I guess that would be a nice byproduct of my hard work, but I'm not expecting that. I'm fully expecting that this channel will just basically be as it is now. It'll never really grow. It'll never really get better. It'll just kind of be as is. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the level of success that I have. I don't care about getting viral popularity and riding the algorithm to success. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I've never played that game on YouTube, if you've noticed. I almost never used any of these best practices that YouTubers use. You don't see me using thumbnails with my face looking like a cartoonish idiot, you know, in front of a screen. You don't see me using, you know, clickbait titles or cheap tags to try to get people to find my videos. I don't do that shit. And therefore, I don't give two shits about the algorithm, all right? Now, if I were to enable likes and dislikes on this video, a lot of idiots would come over here and dislike it thinking that it does something. It doesn't. It doesn't hurt the stream or video at all. But what happens is then idiots derail the stream and say, look at all the dislikes. Look at all the dislikes. And then the whole chat becomes that because these idiots come in here just to try to derail shit. Just like when the comments were on YouTube. Look at the nasty comments. Look at all the nasty comments. And it just makes more nasty comments. So I have to make sure that my streams don't get derailed. And this is a major way of doing it. So it's that simple. If you don't see it, it's out of sight, out of mind, and people don't keep talking about it like idiots. So there you go. CM Fool sent me $4.20. Says, DSP, can you tell me the story of Resident Evil Village? Once upon a time, Capcom realized that Resident Evil 4 was one of their most successful iterations of the franchise ever. And they said, hey, why don't we just do that game again, only modernized? So they did. And what they did is they combined every horror theme, like every classic Universal movie monster, including vampires, zombies, werewolves, mermen. Yes, actually the merman is in the game if you're not aware, guys. The merman... Jasper just stole my bottle cap. The merman is in the game. As silly as it is, he's in it. Ghosts. There's ghosts in the game, even though they're not real ghosts. There's ghosts in the game. And, you know, they basically combined all... plus, they completely ripped off a movie called Frankenstein's Army. They literally stole actual characters and plot points from Frankenstein's Army and ripped it right out of the movie and put it into their game. And then they made a game called Resident Evil Village based on all of this. It should have been called Boo Haunted House, but instead it was called Resident Evil Village. Now, in reality, as bad as that sounds, it actually is an outstanding game. Because the game itself actually has many great gameplay elements, a good story, great characters, very, very spooky vibe. The vibe of the game itself changes multiple times over the course of the game. Insanely good graphics on the PlayStation 5. So, in that regard, the game actually is good. Even though the game itself is as cliche as possible with what it has in it, it actually is a good game. So, there you go. That's the story of Resident Evil Village. BattleDuck9000 tipped me $2. And he says, wait a minute, did I add that to the running total of tips? I didn't, did I? Hold on. Oh, yes, I did. BattleDuck9000 says, can you point me towards the article about Ubisoft? I can't seem to find anything from this year about it. There's a content creator made a video about it. The video went viral. And now a lot of people are talking about it. I think it was like, there's a hashtag on Twitter about it. Hold on. I just saw it. Crap. No, I think I just closed it. Oh, hashtag hold Ubisoft accountable. It's currently going viral right now on Twitter. It's a popular hashtag on Twitter. Okay? So check it out. Thank you for the tip. CM Fool took me another $4.20. He says, what's the story with the Duke? How can he sell one shotgun shell for $1 million? Does he just have a monopoly? Or are they worthless? What? What? That is interesting that the Duke's story is never explained. And during the course of the game, you ask him at the end of the game, what's your story? Why were you helping me all along? And he's like, oh, I can't even answer that. I wonder, who is the Duke? Why does he help you? You don't know. They never explain it, right? Marlone tipped me $1.30 and says, how about you enable comments? Again, that would make your YouTube community grow even more. No, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Did you not hear what I just said about the streams? I said, if you enable the thing that creates bad behavior, it creates more bad behavior, and then it has people derail things to talk about the bad behavior. So if I enable voting on my streams, people will downvote the streams just to downvote them, and then people will endlessly spam comments in the stream about how, wow, look at all the dislikes. If I enable comments on YouTube videos, people will then go and leave nasty comments on the YouTube videos, and then people will comment saying, wow, look at all the nasty comments on this YouTube video. So I'm not stupid. I learned my lesson many years ago, which is why I turned off the comments. I will never turn them back on because they're completely unnecessary. If you haven't noticed, I'm still here years later, even though there's no comments on my YouTube videos. They're worthless. So there you go. CM Fool to me $4.20 says, what is the story of Kingdom Hearts? Once upon a time, Square Enix, or Square Enix, or Square, however you say it, decided they wanted to print money. So what they did is they made this printing press. And on it, it says Kingdom Hearts. And what they do is every once in a while, they turn the printing press on, and they pump out a new convoluted story. And then all of a sudden, all this crazy amount of dollars start flying out of the thing. It's crazy. It's like, wow, watch this. Let's add in 10 new characters you never heard of. Let's try to tie them into the lore of this ongoing franchise. And now, here we go. Button. Whoop. Whoop. Millions, 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 millions. Oh, yeah. There you go. That's the story of Kingdom Hearts, man. All right. Oh, by the way, there's some Disney characters in there, too. All right. Local Nomad just tipped me $4 and says, I'm Commander Shepard and I'm completely winded, gasping for breath after sprinting short distances around the Citadel. That is true. I've noticed that. Now that I'm playing this again, after you sprint just a little bit, he gets winded. It's true. And then he's like, he can't run at all. It's like, isn't he supposed to be, like, a highly trained military guy, yet he gets winded so badly? Like, so easily. In combat, I mean, how does this guy survive? I don't know, man. EDP445 to me $1.30. What's my favorite kind of cupcake? Probably chocolate. Chocolate everything. My answer to any kind of sweets or dessert is chocolate. Chocolate has always been my favorite. Okay. All right. Anything else, guys? Any other questions? Any other contributions? Anything else? Or shall we go on our break for me to use the restroom and then we'll come back and jump into Mass Effect? What do you guys think? What's for dinner today? I think we're having tuna casserole for the first time in like months. I love my wife's tuna casserole, but for some reason she just didn't make it for a long time. I think she got tired of it. But I think we're having it again today. No, I don't know anything about any EDP. I don't even know what that means. I don't give a fuck. I don't even want to know. Baby Vaso tipped me $3, says, what's better, a remake with updated mechanics or a higher resolution remaster? Updated mechanics make the game feel unfaithful to the original, but a remaster could retain crappy retro mechanics. Man, that's a tough question. I guess really what you had to ask is, the original game, does it feel like it had room for improvement, or were there glaring parts of the game that felt like they needed to be improved? And I'll give you an example here. Mass Effect, at least the original game Mass Effect, was outstanding. Had a great plot, great characters. At the time, good graphics, but the game was full of bugs, the game was full of frame rate drops, and the game's combat left something to be desired. Over the course of the trilogy, they completely redid the combat system from the ground up and removed many elements of the game to make it more modernized or make it feel different, okay? Mass Effect 1 is the prime example of a game that I feel a remake or remaster like this was warranted. Putting it in with modern graphics, making it run more smoothly, and getting it more appealing to a wider audience rather than having them go back and play the original game, which at this point has dated and really runs poorly, okay? But if you have a tried and true classic that everyone kind of agrees the original is really great, trying to mess with gameplay mechanics and the like can maybe be a bad idea, right? What if you have a game that everyone feels the gameplay balance is perfect? Like, what if they said, all right, we're going to remake Dark Souls 1, but now you're going to have a fast roll where you can, it's really action-oriented now. It's not about stamina use anymore. Now it's more like Devil May Cry, where you can dodge everything and do insane combos in the game, right? Imagine Dark Souls, but Devil May Cry combat. What the fuck, right? People will go nuts. They'll be like, what, are you crazy? No. Dark Souls works because it has all those limitations. You don't want to do that for, oh, well, it's a more modernized game now. Look at this combo where I rip out 2 motorcycles and slam them against the giant gargoyle's head, right? See that? Anyway, it depends on the game. It's game dependent, is my answer. Makoto the Great took me $1.30. Says, can you tell us the story of Bloodborne? Yeah, alien blood. Alien's blood. That's all. That's the whole story. I mean, you can elaborate further on it, but the entire game is just alien blood. That's the explanation. When you start mixing alien blood with human blood, that's when you get into problems, all right? So you don't do that. We've all learned that. It's in the title, Bloodborne. Bloodborne illness. It's not something to mess around with, man. Jasper Kitty, you stop. You don't bother my stuff up here. You don't bother my stuff up here. Get your paws down. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our break. Let's take a break. I'm going to use the restroom. I recommend you grab a drink, a snack, do whatever you need to do. I'll be back in a few minutes. It's Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I think what we will do, I think we still have to talk to Ashley after the Liara mission. We still have to, like, talk with her about that. And then I think we can do another mission. I think I want to do a major story mission today. I want to head into one of the major story missions to do some really big, major progress. So, all right. I shall return shortly. Thank you guys. See you in a bit.